All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour, and so as promised, we got something that Captain Eddie is going to be opening up. Eddie, I don't know if you've got the box cracked open or if you got to
No.
crack the box open. Um,
No, that's it, just the box.
okay, so this is so as a group we put together something to commemorate Eddie for all that he has done. And so we're going to have Eddie open it up now. And once he gets to what's on the inside, there's a little bit of verbiage on it. And to save Eddie the whatever he may be feeling at the moment from reading it, I am going to go ahead and read what is inscribed on it.
Thank you.
So at the moment, we're going to
This is well packaged.
wait for the little kid to open up his package.
This is damn.
I'm going to hope I can, and I'm going to hope that I can get through this. Should have started drinking earlier. Only beer number 2.
And I'm gonna go back to drinking. It's only
I'm working on catching up.
I don't drink anything stronger than pop. Pop will drink damn near anything.
Pop with tequila in it, huh?
Right?
No, I said pop will drink damn near anything.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't hear that part.
Oh boy, bubble wrap. Oh man.
Yeah, we told you we wrapped it good.
Yeah, I've got bubble wrap. My wife will come pop every one of these. She'll dedicate some time to it.
Forgot to tell you, Dane, it was a box in bubble wrap.
Outstanding. At least it's not. At least it's not done up in strapping tape.
No,
There
we
you go.
didn't do that.
No strapping tape or metal binding. No. Okay, I got more bubble tape inside. Kind of made my wife's day.
Okay.
There's a blank plaque,
Yeah, the blank is in there. We had a new one put on there.
right? And then the other one.
Then the other one. And okay, so for the other one, so this is a tribute to Captain Eddie Castellan from Worldwide Woodturners Group. On behalf of Worldwide Woodturners Group, we extend our deepest gratitude to you, Captain Eddie, for your extraordinary contributions to the art and craft of woodturning. As the founder of WorldwideWoodturners.org, you created far more than just a website. You built a thriving global community united by a shared passion for woodturning. Your vision, energy, and generosity have inspired countless individuals, from those picking up a turning tool for the first time to seasoned artisans honing their lifelong craft. Through your dedication, woodturning has become more than a skill. It has become a bridge across generations and continents. You have encouraged learning, sparked creativity, and fostered a spirit of sharing and camaraderie that continues to flourish. Captain Eddie, your legacy lives on in every bowl turned, every tool sharpened, and every person who discovers the joy of wood turning because of your influences. You reminded us never to be satisfied with the status quo, to keep learning, and to always see the bigger picture. For your continued efforts to master and teach the art of turning, your tireless dedication to sharing knowledge, and for your unwavering commitment to building a worldwide community, we honor you, we thank you, and we carry your spirit forward. With heartfelt appreciation, the members of Worldwide Woodturners.
Here, here.
Here, here.
Bravo, bravo.
I second
Sure.
that.
Bravo, bravo.
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 Absolutely.
Nice
You
job.
can't believe the people you've touched, Eddie. You,
Really
have-
nice,
you can't believe. You can't believe it.
You're a true inspiration, Eddie.
You are loved.
Thank you. Thank you, folks. This is
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you
You're
also.
the
Ed.
best.
Thank you, Captain.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Without you, we wouldn't be here.
But you know,
This Wednesday night, every night. I told you, Tuesdays is like Christmas Eve.
all this came about was just because I want to share time with my friends. That was it. I felt 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I felt trapped in a situation where I wanted to share time with my friends and pinheaded people who thought rules and standards and guidelines and other programs were more important than just having a good time, enjoying what we do, and sharing things. And here I found you. And that really, every time we gather, I think about that. I really do. You folks make my life, after what I've been through with my brain traumas and all that, you bring me back to reality every week because I can say, the hell with all that crap. I don't need that noise. I don't want that noise. I can't carry their baggage. I'm carrying my baggage. And because of that, you're with me. You're right there. You got your hands full. And we're all going down this road together of wood turning. And you are wonderful. You're just damn great. Thank you so much for this. This is truly wonderful. Truly wonderful.
You're welcome.
This club is
Yeah.
truly wonderful.
Least we can do.
This is it. How do you say it? The orchestra can play me off now. I'm really hit the big notes. No, folks,
We love you, Eddie.
I
Yes,
love
we do.
y'all.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much you impact my life. I hope I just make a little bit of difference in your world, and hope some of this brings joy to what you do, and you enjoy each other, and you
Jeez.
learn that friendship is friendship, and all we need to do is take it like that. Take it easy, be gentle, and love each other. And whatever we want in life, we get if we're gentle about it and we play our cards right. And we got the cards. So please, thank you so much. You've done it. You hit it out the park. That's it.
So did you.
Wow.
You built the park. It was easy to hit.
That's right, Brenda. That's exactly right, Brenda. Meet you in person.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. All right. And guess what, folks? We're just getting started. We're just opening up the jar. Because this shows you that with all we did was get together as friends. All we do here is act as friends. All we do is take care of each other. And this is the kind of loyalty and friendship we can form. I found out today I lost a good friend who was a great wood turner. He really was. And I don't know what to do about his loss, but I'll handle it. But it's just that, in this world, you meet people and you grow friends with people and you develop relationships and feelings and care. I mean, tonight when I saw Brenda on there, I'd seen her on Facebook about getting her driveway or a yard reworked and such. It's like if I was sitting on a porch talking to my neighbor. She said, "Hey, Brenda, how's your lawn? They're working on your lawn. How you doing?" And anybody else. We're all on the porch. We're on the tailgate. Remember that? And thank you. That's it. I gotta stop. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much. This has been fantastic. I
Thank
love
you.
you folks. I really do.
We love
All
you.
right.
Now I
With
gotta
that,
get the ball
let's,
over and pop all these bubble bag things because she's gonna drive her crazy.
Yeah.
Eddie wipes the steam off his glasses. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of gallery. What do you say, Matt?
Please.
Works for me. Works for me. First up tonight is our Brenda. What you got, Brenda?
Well, I've been busy this week because I might have a craft show this weekend if it don't get stormed out.
Good
So,
luck.
yeah. First, I did a set of measuring spoons.
Nice.
Are made of latte, and there's two different ones. These two are mulberry, and these two are latte.
So you made them out of coffee.
Yeah,
I've never heard of latte.
Me either.
I don't know. That's what the wood said. This, this set I made. If you notice, these two are shaped differently. The two in the middle are shaped differently than the two on the end. Because these two are white oak. And these two were something else. And one of these, I think this one here, when I drilled it, it went crooked. So I wasn't able to make this shape. So I just made this shape, or these two, this shape, just straight.
They look pretty. They look pretty. No, what would those go for, Brenda?
I usually sell them for $20 a pair, a set, whatever. I think.
That's that?
Yeah.
That seems really low to me.
Yeah.
That seems really low to me too.
I
What do you pay
can't-
for the kit?
In my area, I can't sell anything for the prices you guys get.
What does the kit cost you,
for the
Brenda?
hardware?
I think the kit cost me $10.
Yeah, that should be good
More
for at
than
least 30.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You could do them all in different wood, so then you could say 1 scoop of cherry and a scoop of walnut and 2 scoops of mint.
Yeah, I've done that before too. All 4 different ones. Yeah. These 2 bowls you've seen before, but I finished the bottom. The bottom
Nice.
did have tenon on them. So I put a tenon, or took the tenon off. And let's see, which one is it? I can't really tell. I think it was the
So how'd
small
you-
one. The small one here would not,
Do what?
it was warped and wouldn't stay in my cold jaws. So
Oh,
this
so-
one I had to use the grinder and grinded it off.
Hey, whatever works.
But still got them nice and smooth, real pretty. So there's that one. And then this one you've seen, right?
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I put some paint back on it. I put 2
Very
different
nice.
shades of glue in it.
Looks great.
And the back of it has now got 6 coats of tung oil.
Very nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So it's coming along. This one you've seen before too, and now has 6 coats of tung oil on it. Very nice.
Pretty.
And then I got one more. Yeah. I had to try
Well, you have been busy.
with the first one. You know, I used the hole cutting.
The
jig.
whole saw.
Yeah, the hole cut saw, whatever.
Yeah.
But I had to sand it down really bad, you know. Well, last week somebody suggested I get the hole cutting one for tile.
The diamond edged one.
Yeah, the diamond top. Yeah. So that was $40, but I had to do it again. And this one turned out a little bit better.
Yeah, cut
Nice.
better, huh?
Yeah, it did
Are
cut
you-
a
are
little
you-
better,
Are you
but
doing
it's still
anything to
kind of
control?
rough.
Are you doing anything to control the depth?
I am putting a pencil mark on the inside of my jig, so I know
Gotcha.
how far it went in now.
Cool.
So this one I just did today, and this one just has what's the first step?
Standing sealer.
Boiled linseed oil.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm not sanded or nothing to the top. This inside does have boiled linseed oil on it too, and they've spent most of the day in the car. So that's all I got. Yeah.
Nice
Nice.
stuff.
That's very nice. That's quite a week. Very nice, Brenda.
Yeah.
Visit, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
It
very
is very
much.
pretty.
And my body knows it too. I'm hurting. But it's fun. It's been fun. Yep. I love it when
Indeed. All
something
right.
sounds nice anyway.
Yeah, you did very nice job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, next up is Al. What you got, Al?
Oh, hope everybody's doing good. First of all, just a quick tip. Just a quick tip. A lot of people, if you're mixing, a polyurethane and probably put maybe I don't know, just a thin or something. Getting just a bottle, empty bottle that you're going to go and recycle. And a lot of times I just cut the bottom off. I've got a little mixing thing that I could do my thing and still just throw it away. If that helps anybody, it's a little tip that I've been doing around here when I started doing all that dyeing, with different things. That kind of worked out. Last week, everybody was talking about making a cross, and I made a cross, and I made this last week. It wasn't ready, and then the pieces I showed last week that I told you that it worked. I set that on there, and I said, "Wow, that looks really pretty." I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably take it over to a church or something, and they could go and raffle it off if they want. But I thought it come out pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks great.
Nice.
I like it.
I don't know. Maybe a little over the top. I'm not sure.
That's
No,
cool.
it's not over the top.
I've been playing around. It's everything I'm about to show you is not what it's supposed to be. How's that? It's not what it's supposed to have been. This is a crescent moon vase.
Oh,
I like it.
that is cool.
Cool.
Very nice.
Like it. Yeah.
Very
Love
nice.
It wasn't supposed to be a crescent moon vase.
it.
If you can see here and here, this is a mirror image. I had an 8-inch square, and I turned it. If you can see, I turned the bottom that way. You can see how I flared it.
Mhm.
And this is supposed to be a tube. I cut it a little too far. This is supposed to be all enclosed. There's supposed to be a lid and a lid. If it works out, I'll show it next week. But I still think the idea is kind of cool.
It's neat.
Very simple, very super simple to make. In other words, this was one piece. It's like a mirror. I just put it together and I glued it. But right now it's
feel bad about having to
crescent
cut
moon
that
vase.
thing in half.
Interesting idea. Really good.
Yeah,
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, cut it in half and glue it. So that's
Pretty neat.
goofing around.
Looks
Yeah,
good.
job.
well, that's to do it Wednesday nights. Thanks a lot, Ed. Everybody be good. Everybody have a good night.
Hey, you too.
Thanks, Al. Nice work. Next up is Charlie. What you got, Charlie? Yeah, you, Charlie.
Yeah, I was clicking. I haven't had much time. I had to go back to one of my old jobs. My sister's remodeling her house, getting ready to sell it. It needed new cabinets. Guess who gets to make them?
Yes.
But these are the end cuts off the drawers. Just 1 inch thick, all glued together.
Wow. Beautiful.
And I'm going to give them to her to put in her shelves. Now, I did some research, and the only thing I can find that they'll claim is food safe is CA glue. So the outsides are done in tung oil. The insides are CA glue.
Wow.
Well, I like that. That's pretty.
Ah.
Like the
That came
shine
out
on
great.
This is what Captain Eddie means. There is no such thing as scraps. And I learned that from him.
Yes.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yep.
That's all I had.
She's gonna love them.
Nice,
All right.
Charlie.
Well, thank you, Charlie. Very nice.
Thank you.
Next up is Patrick.
I got a couple small pieces. This little mug, and I have no idea what kind of wood it is. I got it from Michael Stafford, a friend of mine, and it's had a real sweet perfume smell when I turned it. But I have no idea what it is.
Pretty.
Huh.
Love that green.
Beautiful wood. Yeah. It's a beautiful piece.
It is
It's
really
pretty. Pretty piece of wood, and it had a real strong, sweet smell.
Huh.
And then I turned this one.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what it is either. It was just a piece that was laying around. I said I'll make a little pot out of it
Just
to make some handles. And then I engraved it, and when I put the handles on it, I didn't get them centered. So
Wow.
You
Still,
didn't say something. I wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
and then I turned this piece of sweet gum,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
twice turned. And I didn't
That's
like the
great.
color of it.
Wow.
So I dyed it with, I think there's 4 different colors on it. And
That's
Nice.
beautiful.
I kind of like the way it turned out. But
That's
Yeah.
really
That's-
pretty.
Heck yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Wow.
Very pretty.
Nice job.
Oh, that shine.
it's finished with spray enamel.
Very nice.
What colors did you use?
I think I started with red, then I put blue, and I sanded back between each one. The first one was black. I sanded it back, and then I put blue on it, sanded it back, then I put red and yellow on top of that. And it almost looks like walnut.
Yeah, it does look real pretty.
Yeah.
Very
Nice.
nice piece.
But that's it for me this week.
Very cool.
It's great. Great pieces.
Thank you.
Very nice. Next up is Doug Miller. What you got, Doug?
All right. This is a repaired piece. I turned this bowl originally. I was just noticing a while ago, August of 2020, and it's a piece of ambrosia maple. And I noticed the other day, a week or so ago, I went by the shop and it had a big crack in the rim. And so I brought it home. This is actually about an inch shorter than what it was. And the finish is a ton better than what it was. There's a shine to it now. There was no shine to it before. I'm not sure what my finish was. Probably just some oil, probably just one coat, one wiping of oil. But ambrosia maple, there are the ambrosia holes in it. You can see right there.
Uh-huh.
I didn't try to fill those or anything. And it's got my original recess that I left in it on purpose, so I could return it if I ever needed to. And it turned out wonderfully. It's a whole lot thinner than what it was, and it's a lot shinier. And before I let you go, let me show you one other piece that I'm finishing up. I think I showed this to you a few weeks ago, but it never had gotten finished. I took it to the store and it actually had the tenon still on it. I thought, that's not done. So I've brought it home. I've put a couple of more coats of oil on it. I'm going to keep it on the lathe and put a couple more coats of oil on it before I take the tenon off, and then I'll put it in the shop This is one of those pieces I got from Joaquin from Western North Carolina. It came down in the hurricane, so I'm pretty proud of this one. It came out really nice. It's a little thicker than I normally do. It's a good half to 3/4 of an inch all the way. But I like the bowl. I'm not going to thin it out anymore. It's got a couple of cracks that were in it as I turned it. They haven't gotten any bigger, so I'm pleased with it. I'm going to leave it just as it is, slightly closed form on this natural edge. So that's me for this week.
Yeah, looks good, Doug.
Yep.
Very
they both
nice.
look great.
Thanks, Doug.
Yep, you're welcome.
Next up is Jim Duxbury. What you got, Jim?
Let me see here. I've got a pecan bowl. Did I show these last week? I don't know whether you did or not.
No.
I don't think I had them
That's-
done. Anyway,
No, you did.
That's okay. I'm happy to see it again, even if I did.
oh, I do a couple of different ones of these, and this is pecan from my neighbor's tree. We got pecan trees all around here,
It's pretty.
and that's
Nice.
and these are maple burl. These are burl from a farm down the street here. After a lot of storms, I get calls, I got a 60-inch oak tree down, and you want oak? And I said, no, I don't want oak. I didn't want to see it. And this guy says, I got this big tree down. It's got all these bumps on it. I said, oh, bumps are kind of interesting.
Right. I like
This
bumps.
was 28 inches in diameter and about 25 feet long, and it was solid burl.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Almost put me in the hospital. Anyway, these are.
Wow.
Rita said first thing, we'll take the whole thing, and I said, no, we won't. We're going to take half of it. And we're going to share with them. I'm not going to kill myself doing this. But anyway, there's hundreds of these bowls. It's just fun to turn.
Yeah.
Are those green or twice turn?
This is twice turned. Yeah, twice turned.
Okay.
It's probably about almost a year old.
Yeah.
I don't date my work anymore, but anyway, the bark stayed on. There's no CA glue on any of these. The bark just stayed on.
Wow.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it's gorgeous work. And the other one,
What do you finish them in, Jim?
the finish is lacquer.
Okay.
Probably about 6 coats of lacquer. This other one, I gotta switch cameras here. Here I go. Years ago, I started turning sets of balls. I've shown balls, the rotating balls. And I thought it was kind of interesting if there was a hole down the center.
Oh, cool.
A couple of things. The hole down the center, number one. Well, first off, the race determines if this thing's going to work. There has to be a space between those balls. If they touch, the whole thing gets messed up. But the other thing is, I noticed there's a hole down the center, and I could put a post down the center and make this heavy part drive the other ones. And this way, this thing is adding inertia, unbelievable. It's
That's great. That's great fun.
That is
Wow.
a great idea.
That's
And
really
it's
cool.
touching. That's kind of neat.
I only saw
Jim,
This
does
back in the 60s.
what
does the post go all the way down to the race, or is it a little bit elevated?
it's probably got a quarter of an inch.
I love that you didn't know.
Yeah, no, I know. I made this, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago. And the woman, I have a couple of people that buy my work, and she's got thousands of dollars on my work. But anyway, she saw this, and she has it in the kitchen, and she's probably had it 6 or 8 years at least. The whole thing was watermarked. It was a mess. and she says, I gotta have it refinished. So anyway, she dropped it off the other day and I refinished it, but I do some better work now, but yeah, this is, I gotta do another version of this.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Are all of the balls are they touching? Are all of them?
No,
to make
none of the balls can
be
touch
with
each other.
or they are not touching.
They're not touching.
Nothing except the top one. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking at. Right. Okay.
The balls on the bottom are
What's the
tangent.
ratio? What's the ratio in your dish
The what?
compared to your size of the sphere? What the ratio of the dish? You know, which
The radius has to be just slightly wider than the ball diameter.
Right.
The dish is the race, and the race.
Okay, I'm sorry. The race. Okay, right. You're right.
Every ball.
Right.
Every ball touches the bottom of the race and the edge of the side right here. You can see a tangent right there. And in fact, I turned this race small. First off, all these balls are turned by eye. I don't have a jig or a CNC machine. These are all turned by eye. They got to be perfectly round. If they're not, when they stop, they back up. And
You just made the sense of calling it a race. Now I understand.
It's a race. This
without any slop.
This pin down the middle just fits between the balls. And what that does, that makes this ball tangent here at this point to this ball. Also, it's tangent to the side of this ball. So this is adding momentum and driving in two places to this ball. This ball is now tangent to that pin, the bottom of this, and the side of this race.
Right.
So it's a much different world. Not only that, well, this goes on. You know, when you turn one of these things, you could do 47 versions of this. This doesn't have to be a ball. This thing could be a great big hunk of wood sticking out here with a slight radius on the bottom that would be tangent to here and have a pin in the bottom. Or it could have other things on the top. Anyway.
Is this what you use to roar Rita?
What?
It could be shaped like a flying saucer.
It could be, yes, it could definitely be a flying saucer.
A birdhouse.
I showed you that.
or a bowl even.
Well, I showed you the motorized one. In fact, that could be motorized. Anyway, I'm not motorizing them because I can't sell a motorized one because I don't know how long that dizzy little motor is going to last. You know, it might last a week, it might last 10 years, but if I sell something, I want it to last.
I'll tell you, Jim, the inspiration's always there. There's another attempt all over again.
Oh, there's no end to it.
That's beautiful.
There's no end.
You made me understand more now about the bottom being a race. Right. I got it.
Well, the key is to make the race just big enough so those balls don't touch.
Right.
And the top ball forces them apart.
I understand.
So that makes
the bearing in the race. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But more momentum once you get going. The reason I made a spindle on the top is because
I love it.
To spin it faster.
I love it. Right.
And the smaller the spindle is, the smaller diameter that spindle is. The faster you make that go.
There's a Jim Duxbury right there. Oh, I should have said that.
A little too fast.
Yeah, the sides aren't high enough to take the disintegrated force. Yeah.
Are you going to make an iteration where you can hook your drill up to the finial?
No. You could do that, but the sides would have to come clear up to here because as these get going, they want to come out.
Right. Well, I think I heard Rita just now say it. Yeah, you're going to do that.
Yeah. No, No, Rita's mowing the lawn.
What a trooper.
You won't believe it. Well, the best thing I ever bought in my whole life is a zero-turn lawnmower. She loves that thing. God, yeah, I haven't been on it since I bought it.
That sounds like my wife. Yep. Yep.
Anyway, that's it. Oh, I got
Good
one more
stuff,
thing.
Jim.
I got one more thing I could show. Let me
Thank you,
switch
Jim.
cameras
Thank you
here.
for sharing.
A
Thank you
long
for sharing.
time ago, I showed making vases and things out of this is one piece of wood, cut out a bandsaw, and then opened up.
Right.
So you can roll this and you can split it. You can do all kinds of things with this. But anyway, that's fun. But I steam
Like a magician. Just like a magician. He just showed us a magic trick.
I steam bend it, and this is kind of fun too. But now I made all this stuff. I don't know what to do with it. But anyway, this is steam bent, and there's no rhyme or reason to this. But
Send it to me. I'll figure something out.
Yeah. Well, it keeps going. I put a hole in the middle, so I put an axle in here. So when I steam bend it, I could twist and bend it, and that gives you a more uniform bend.
Yeah.
I could put an axle in here and spacers or something, and do all kinds of things with this, I guess, or something.
Right.
But I'm open for suggestions. I I know how to make it. I don't know what to do with it.
My God, Jim.
Anyway, that's the end of my
mind.
Never mind. That's the end.
Thank you, Jim.
I'm done.
All I can say is wow.
Right.
So we're gonna follow up that with our good friend Mr. Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
What you got, Tom?
Thanks a lot, Matt. I appreciate that.
Hey, you know,
I
in
say,
the order you commit in. If you don't want to follow Jim, wait till somebody else jumps in.
I understand. Several years ago, I've never been accused of getting things done quickly, but back in 2018, we had a hurricane come through and it took out a huge sycamore tree. And the only reason I know that is I remember to write the species and the date on the tenon before I second turned it. This is sycamore. It's about 11 inches, just a utility bowl. And as usual, laser engraved on the bottom. And the second part, this is Stump the Chump. I had a friend bought a package deal. She bought a one-way lathe, and it came with a bunch of chucks and accessories, steady rest, and this. And it doesn't fit the M33. I tested it on my lathe. It's 1 1/4 by 8 in here. And this is 1/2 inch by a very fine thread. I don't know what the thread pitch is.
We want to test.
What is it? I was wondering if it was some sort of mandrel to mount a buffing wheel or a grinding wheel on your spindle.
I don't know.
That looks a lot like the buffing wheel mandrel from Niles Bottle Stoppers.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
Because that's what I use.
Go look on the Niles Bottle Stoppers website and look for it, because that's probably where it is.
The first guess I had was it might have been a bottle stopper mandrel, and I talked to Jim Duxbury about it, and he said because there's no square shoulder on it, it wouldn't work for that. Plus the mandrel part is much too long. But I'll check that. Niles, I think I might be onto something there. Thank you.
Great stuff. Tom.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, next up is Billy. What you got, Billy?
Found it, Tom.
I don't remember if I showed this last week or not.
No,
you
see it on
didn't.
your Instagram though.
Okay. Well, I've been critter crazy lately. Doing
Cool critter.
doing centerpieces, and I decided, well, I wanted to try doing an owl. So this I laser engraved. I cut these pieces of walnut out on the laser. I laser engraved his talons too. And I didn't trust myself to be able to do the wings, so I just cut a paper template, traced it,
and wood burned them.
You look
So
great.
another
He looks very
another
wise.
critter, another critter down. And while I was at it, I decided I'd make another one.
Yeah, I love your kitty cat.
That's a little cat. It's a little calico. That's spalted hickory. I pyroed a tail on the back.
Is that a male or female calico?
Calicos are only female.
No, there are male.
They're
Very
extremely rare.
Yes.
And I decided to try my hand at another dog.
Oh, cool.
I like them.
And I added some, you can see the bottom, where I actually had to do this because there was a bad split right here. And there was a split, the same part of the log, there was a split here on the head. And they both came out while I was turning. So I thought, well, I'll use that to my advantage. So I left the bottom of his head a little bit flatter. And I left this part a little flatter and then power carved it out so that it would look more like legs. And again, I used fabric, this time ripstop from a desert Marine uniform, one of my son's old uniforms from when he was in Iraq years ago. And so it's it was the wrong color, so I dyed it brown. I used a pipe cleaner for the tail, and I dyed it. The dye I used on this, and I dyed the body because this is wild pear, and you can see the color is not consistent. And I wanted a more consistent color. So the dye I used this time was brown sole dressing, Phoebe's brown sole dressing. And it worked great. I just don't have any final finish on him yet.
He looks cute.
Came out great.
Thank you. One more. I hadn't forgotten how to turn bowls. And
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, that is cool.
This is a piece of mesquite.
Very nice.
A little bit of
Wormy.
post hole damage in it.
Pardon?
Post hole beetle or carpenter?
Longhorn borers.
Longhorn borer. Yeah.
Except for that void, that was a void, and that was a natural void. Because of the voids, I decided to fill them. If it hadn't been for the voids, I've not been filling things lately. But I took this one just one step farther.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's great.
I lasered it. And no wood turners were harmed in the making of this bowl. The only electricity used was the electricity that spun the lathe. So, and then ran my laser. So I got about, I don't know, between 4 and 6 hours creating this graphic. And because I wasn't happy with any of the graphics that I found. So I took one that was kind of cool, and I've highly modified it and copied and bent it and edited and re-edited, and it takes a long time to do stuff like this. But so this has 5 coats of Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra on it, and I've still got to buff the back, and I've got to buff the bowl. I'm not going to buff this because I'll never get the wax out of those burns. They're about 3/32 of an inch deep.
Wow.
Did you save the
in places?
Did you save the laser file for that?
Did I save the laser file for this?
Yeah.
Or what kind of idiot would I be?
Well,
That's a loaded question, Billy.
And that's exactly, that was almost my exact response when I was talking to somebody about it.
Now, how much are you going to charge for it?
Of course, I saved the laser file for it.
Right on.
Because I want to, I maybe be able to use it again.
Exactly.
Who
Something
deletes files? Who
smaller.
deletes files, Dane?
Something smaller, or maybe even something round. But there
Be
was just so
surprised,
much
Matt.
really.
Be surprised.
There was so much pretty figure in that mesquite, and the graphic that I made is kind of square anyway. So I decided just to leave this square, and I'm really happy with the result.
So my question,
out
Billy,
great.
is how did you get
Very
that
nice.
that texture around the edges around your burn so that it's not flat? You
So
know,
that it's not what?
the wood where your graphic is not flat. It looks more like the finish is bumpy. But maybe it's just what I'm seeing.
Oh, and there's actually, you see the small ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that part of the lasering too?
That is part of the lasering, but it's not part of this graphic. It was a different graphic, and I didn't like it because they didn't I had the laser. I screwed up. I had the laser set on line, and so it drew lines around all of those little things.
Uh-huh.
And so I went back and told it, okay, I left the piece in place, and I told it to fill. And I did there's a little thing where you can click and do a test run to see how long it's going to take to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back and told me something like 16 hours. And I said, nope, that ain't going to work. And rather than going back to the lathe and turning that down and sanding it off, I left it on there and burnt this other graphic in it. And I actually kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
It just
nice
gives it an extra depth of texture.
Yeah, it's a nice texture. I like that.
Yeah.
So,
like a multi-layered effect or something. It's very cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And last year at SWAT, I picked up out of a used tool bin. It was from a wood turner that's no longer with us. He was doing estate sale stuff for his wife. One of the vendors was for the guy's wife. Anyway, this is undercut, and I picked up a 1/4 inch beading tool, and so I beaded this, and then used a piece of cedar to burn that black.
Oh.
Of course,
Very-
the black
very
line
nice.
to the bottom.
Very cool.
But
Very
yeah, I've got to buff it out yet. It's not done. But this piece, I was asked to do another piece for the 3-in-1 for SWAT. So this piece is going to be raffled off in the 3-in-1 right after Saturday night's dinner.
Nice.
Woo! Beautiful,
Very
Billy.
nice.
That's good.
To burn the dark one on there?
Pardon?
How long did it take to laser the dark?
Oh, this big one?
Yeah.
About 20 to 30 minutes, if I remember, Bob.
I wonder why it was so long on the other one, huh?
Because remember it was solid, and the graphic is solid. There were, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 of these little things.
Okay, and it was solid, and you sanded it back or turned it back.
Well, no, I didn't sand it back. The graphic itself was completely covered with thousands upon thousands of these of these small characters, and because you're treating it as a fill when you go in and laser it takes forever. You can it was just going to take a long time because
Okay.
there's so many of them and they're so close together.
That's
and
okay.
They're so fine. But yeah,
Longer than you were willing to commit to. I got it.
Yeah, much longer than I was willing to commit to. I may edit that graphic too and see if I can clean it up some so that it won't take forever and a day to get it done.
But I love the texture that it left.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know, and Patrick just said it looks like leather, and I agree. It looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it kind of does.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to buff the outside of this because I'll never get the wax out of those But anyway, that's all I've got.
Very nice, Billy.
Great work.
Super job, Billy.
All right. That sounds great. So with that, almost to the top of the hour. So let's go to everyone's favorite feature of the evening, and let's get our safety moment on with Safety Sue. Sue.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're good.
Right.
That's good. I was talking to my sister earlier, and she always makes jokes on what I should say as for safety, and it must have made a tremendous impression because I've kind of forgotten it.
Maybe have her come in and give the safety moment.
No, you don't, because she always does a little twist of stuff that we normally this is a rated G hour. Okay.
Oh, okay. Got it. She can do it after hours.
Exactly. But what I wanted to talk about was, like I said earlier, about the only thing I've been able to do out there right now is sweep because of these constant headaches. But how many people, when they're sweeping, have their face mask, their nose, their dust mask on? How many people are still wearing their safety goggles on just when they're sweeping up? It brings up a lot of dust when you're sweeping, and you should have your mask on, and you should have safety glasses on. If your eyes are sensitive to any of the wood, you'll be using your eye station constantly. And we all know we don't want that stuff in our lungs. So even when we're taking our compressor and we're blowing stuff out, for heaven's sakes, folks, make sure you still have your mask on and safety glasses on. And don't forget around your lathe when you're doing your quill and cleaning your headstock and all that, and you're blowing it out and making sure that your M2 taper will fit in there perfectly. Make sure you have your safety gear on. It's a great practice, and I really think everybody should almost always wear their masks and their safety glasses. Now, this is when you're not turning, guys, when you're just out there with all the dust and stuff. Please take care of yourselves, because I'd love to see you next week, and hopefully I'll have a better safety talk for you. But this week, make sure you got your stuff on so you can breathe and see, okay? See you next week.
Thank you,
Sounds
Sue.
good, Sue.
We hope your next safety moment is headache free.
Oh, me too, folks. You know, it'd be great if I could get out in the shop and make a few things. So yeah.
Yes.
And if it's back in the kitchen.
Back in the kitchen?
We're back in your normal room.
Oh, well, you know, I don't think that's going to happen because right now they're eating, but you know, maybe
I need to change their eating time.
Yeah, I know. But
right? Making you change all your schedule around, and
no,
my goodness. I know. I digress.
This way I've got you all to myself. What can I tell you?
There you go. Right? No sharing us.
But maybe
all
if
right.
I've cleaned up enough, I can bring you out there. Okay.
That'll work.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, thank you, Sue, for the wonderful safety meeting briefing. Sound advice for us all to adhere to, even though the majority of us won't. Maybe some will. I know I'm guilty. And so with that, it's top of the hour. So we do have a nice demonstration scheduled for the evening. So we are going to go see Mr. Roger. And he has a nice video that he is going to be playing for us on how he made that.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
I love that.
Segmented
That's
base.
beautiful.
And so with that, his demo, granted it's recorded, but let's hold all questions and comments to the end of the video, and then we'll get those answered at the end of the demonstration. So during this time. I will not be asking questions that are asked in the chat, so hold on to them until the end of the demonstration. And
I'll be watching
Roger,
the chat anyway, so.
and Roger can either answer them within the chat or answer them verbally. But with that, I am going to mute everybody. Please keep yourselves muted, and muting everybody now, Roger. And you'll need to unmute yourself.
Okay.
And make sure when you go to do your share screen, make sure you select share your machine sound. Before you go and select and have your volume turned up.
Okay, to start off with, you need to draw the picture of the vessel that you want to build. This is a vase. After you draw it, you divide the sides out. You add a 1/4 inch in each, inside and outside, to get your right width or thickness.
Is that coming through okay,
From
Dave?
that, you take
Yeah, it sounds good.
your measurements onto this diagram. All your measurements are right here. No math included. The first segment is 0.88 long and or 0.88 wide and 0.10 or 1.3 thickness. Okay, now we need to set for the piece width. I've got this piece of wood connected to the blade so I can get the exact measurement from the backside of the blade to my stop block, 0.88, and it's set. And we will cut some segments.
For some reason, the video gets real shaky for a while. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's all good. I'm still.
Okay, we've got 16 segments cut at that size. We'll go to the next size next. And now we're going to glue the first segment together. Get glue spread evenly on all the sides so you get a good glue joint.
Got something going
And there's
on there.
the first ring.
What happened?
Glued up. Once it's dried, sand one side smooth, and then we'll attach it to a faceplate.
There we go.
Okay, now I'm going to be cutting the open segmented pieces. I've drawn out the open segmented portion. From this, I know I need 56 maple, 30 walnut, and 30 sapelli. I'll cut some segments out, and then I will get back to building the vessel. Okay, the open segment is smaller than the regular segment. I take 1/4 off for the open segment to give you the gap. I got the first ring glued to a waste block, and I'm getting ready to fit a floating bottom in it. And that's one of the tools I got from Captain Eddie. I'll glue it in and turn it down flat. Now I'm surfacing the top ring of the vase, getting it ready to go to a glue block.
people that were worried about having to have a thickness sander or something to sand these discs, you can see that I'm doing it here just on a cold jaws. I want to sand it now. It's a 12-inch sanding disc that I got when I had a shopsmith. And it works great. It's got a nice flat surface. I'm holding the Morse tendon on the back side. This is the second ring on the top. Pulling the second ring to the top. The only clamp I use, the lathe, right there. I leave it for about 10 minutes, and I take it off, go to my next. And this is the second ring on the bottom. I take the measurements directly off my drawing. So, like I say, you don't have to measure anything. It's all just The top side, I only have to take off a 1/4 inch, but on the bottom side, you've got to take off on this one almost 3/4 of an inch. You can see how wide, how much I have to take off, but on the bottom, it's less than a 1/4 of an inch. And I have to learn to camera angle a little bit better. As I get along later on, it's a little better. So if I don't have the cold jaws there, I can use my sanding board, which is a lot easier. This is the next ring for the bottom half. Now I'm getting ready to glue another ring on. It's an aluminum cone that I got that is made for gluing segmented rings together. So the problem is it only fits the tail center out of my Jet Mini. So this is the top. While I'm turning, I've got a trash can that sits right underneath my lathe. So about 60% of the shavings fall directly into that waste can.
Okay, we'll flatten the next ring. And now measure the inside. Okay, we're going to face the next ring. Want to make sure I was doing the right ring. I had to count them. We need to get the inside ring. Sand it flat for the next spray. And flatten this ring. And then sand it down. Everything's flat. We'll glue it. Now we'll glue that ring to the upper portion. Okay, now we'll flatten this ring, get it ready to glue on the lower section. Got to take tape off of that one. Okay, now we'll glue that ring to the lower section. And flatten another ring. I guess I didn't have to show you flattening all the rings. It would have saved some time.
Perfectly fine. This is good. Good to see how it's done.
We're turners. We love to watch turning.
Putting chemicals in the pool.
What was that? And now flatten the next string and shape it. I purposely leave the outside just a little bit thicker. So when I get it completely assembled, I can do the final shaping. It lets me blend things better.
Okay, we'll flatten the next string. And measure the outside portion. Try to get a little better camera angle so you can see what's going on. Sand it flat now and have it ready for the next ring. As you see, I'm shaping the inside now. Well, I got it open. Then when I put the two halves together, it'll be done. But you won't be able to reach in and really feel anything. Okay, we'll glue the next ring on. All right, we'll let that set up. Okay, we'll flatten the next ring. Okay, we'll flatten this ring, sand it flat, so we glue it to the next. Okay. And we'll glue this now. And we'll let that glue up. And the last ring to flatten. Sand it flat.
I need dust collection. Okay. We'll get it ready to glue to the vessel. On to the next ring.
You see, I've left this one a little thicker. This is where I need to start building the open segmented section. Okay, somehow I lost the last edit on the video, so I'm going to re-show this. This is the open segmented plan. Shows how the ribbons cross. And I've already got 4 rows on. I've got 3 left to do. At least I'm able to show you how it goes together. Got to make sure I get started in the right spot.
I opened my other computer so now I can look at chat. Haven't been able to check chat.
You're only going to see stuff going forward on your machine for chat.
It doesn't go back. It only comes in from when I started. So
Correct. Correct.
one thing about the Quick and Thick, you don't have to worry about cleaning it up. It dries invisible pretty much.
Don't let the computer. Okay, that ring's done. Let it dry, sand it, and go to the next one. Need to get the inside of this sanded and finished, because once you glue it together, you won't be able to get to it. Sand it to 220 on the inside. Going to clean it out, and we'll spray it with some lacquer. Sorry, my head gets in the way.
Look at that grain pop.
Dry, and I'll resand the outside where I have no problems gluing the two halves back together. Okay, we'll do the next layer. As you can see, doing the open segment pieces like this, it goes fairly quick in building. You just have to wait a little time for glue to dry between rings so you can flatten.
Yes, each piece is 25% smaller than it would be if it was a solid piece. Brenda, you can make the jig. It's easy. Another ring glued on. Wait for it to dry again. Of course, I sand each one of these rings before I glue the next one on. Okay, now we're going to start shaping the outside. And with this, I have to run the lathe up a little faster than I normally would prefer turning.
But with the open segment, you have to do that. Okay. Okay, now we have the outside close to where it needs to be. All I have to do is do the inside. Okay, now we have to do some turning on the inside. First 3 rows are not a problem, but the last 2 rows are a pain. Pins are mounted to a waste block to a faceplate. And I can
I've got an attachment for my tailstock that I can screw each one of the face plates directly to it, so it's solid. Try a different tool, see if this will work. This is a cone-shaped finish here. I know it's longer than a normal demo though.
This is perfectly fine. Looks like we're froze up, Roger. Bear with us, folks. Just resharing the screen. Roger, can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear
We
you.
can all hear you, Dean.
But
Roger,
Roger's screen has gone out.
Roger's muted, so we don't know if he's answering or not.
right. Roger, unmute yourself on your computer. Well, shucks.
I think something happened to his internet, Dean.
Well, Roger's eyes and face are moving, so he's there.
I just have
Roger.
a blank screen on him now.
Roger, unmute yourself on your computer that you're working on. Your second machine. Because the one you're doing the share screen on, that one is froze. Roger, unmute yourself.
Can somebody call him? Maybe he'll answer the phone.
Yeah, maybe he can't hear us.
Yeah, maybe.
I have notified him through the participants list, but apparently he's not seeing that either.
With the other computer frozen, he may be beyond his bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have? Oh, there we go.
Well, he's trying to call somebody now, it looks like.
I think Dane called him.
Yeah, I think.
I think Dane's talking to him on the phone.
Yeah.
He's gonna bail out and come back. That'll always work.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, how are you?
Hey.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right, good. Yeah, so I talked to him. I told him he was froze up. He's going to get out and come back in.
I see Sue is now eating and not sharing with the rest of us like Brenda was earlier.
If you would like dry thick Rice Crisps, I'd be more than happy to share them.
Yeah, I'd have to be a lot hungrier.
I know it, really, you guys.
Little strawberry jelly on that'll be perfect.
Sue, which is better, the Rice Crisp or the cardboard box that came in?
Cardboard box, but I was
thinking the same thing, Gary.
How do you tell the difference?
You need to try the ones with caramel and chocolate chips.
There you go.
Strawberry jam on them will really help.
Jam would be good.
If you like strawberries.
Yeah, right.
So that would be even worse for me.
Everybody likes strawberries?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, my goodness.
That's just plain American.
I agree.
Roger's back.
All right. Let's get
Dane
Roger
don't
back.
like strawberries. He must be a communist.
All right, Roger, you can hang up the phone because I hung up.
He was still talking to you.
All right, so
Still got to unmute though.
Wherever he's on now, he's muted.
Can you hear us
Right.
now, Roger?
So you're still muted.
Going.
Hell, maybe I need to call him back up again.
He still can't hear us.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's
there he
not
is.
muted either, guys.
There we
He was,
go.
he was choosing that.
He was
Now we're back. Now we're back on the share screen computer, so we're good. So he's gonna. So back it up about 7 minutes.
All right.
And then you'll have to mute your other. Turn your volume down on your other.
Turn the other one
computer.
off.
Yeah.
And of course, it's demoitis.
Well, yeah.
Well, it waited till the last 10 minutes of the program, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, is that about right?
It's close enough. You had just finished, or you were just turning the inside of the open segments.
Right. You hadn't put. You just. Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
So if y'all have a live mic, make sure you're muted.
Putting it with the song. Okay, that's pretty. Must be pretty close where I was.
This is perfect.
Now you're going back in just to turn that top segment, right? The last open segment.
Yes. I realize it's a long demo, but I tried to edit it the best I could.
No, this is perfect. There's steps in this that needs to be seen. For people like me.
Pretty rest I built in a class that I was in segmenting while I was in California. And I really like it. It's open on the front side, so you could actually turn with it in place.
Now I'm doing the final shaping on the outside, and we'll be able to finish it. I unscrewed the chuck off of my shaft on my sanding pad. Thank you, Bob. And I lost it. Now, for some reason in this video, it's showing that one area is a different color, but once it sprayed with lacquer, it blended in and you don't see that.
What was that wood, Roger?
What's that?
What was the wood? What wood is the top and bottom of the vase?
What wood is it?
Yeah.
African mahogany, I believe, is what it's called.
Yeah. It I don't know what it is about that, but the chatoyance changes a lot. Before you put the finish on it, it looks completely different. Once you
Yeah.
put finish on it, it all blends very nicely. I've never understood why it looks that way. On mine, some of my pieces will be darker than others, like that small band down there. But
Yeah.
mine looks like that just about every other segment or so sometimes. It's weird.
But I got more of the sanding out. Sorry. I only sanded to 320.
Doug Rose, stop playing.
All right. Let me get rid of that.
Oops. Didn't know that was. I was trying to figure out what this pencil thing is that she was talking about.
Oh, you figured it out.
I didn't know you all could see that, though. Sorry.
Oh, it's been a pattern tonight. There's been a couple people playing.
Yeah, I saw somebody drawing earlier.
Yep. I was muted, so you guys didn't get to hear what I said. Right.
It's amazing how much the lacquer changes the look of the wood.
Oh yeah. That's the oh boy segment. I can't wait to put finish on something, see what it's going to look like.
I love the sparkle in that thing.
Yeah, African mahogany or Sipo. It's the chatoyance in it is just insane.
Wow. Oh my. Need my sunglasses.
It's not that bright. See, that lacquer really changed the color of the wood. Right now, we need to remove it from the waste block.
This is the pucker moment.
All right. Doug Rowe, pay attention to this parting tool use. You do have it down now. I just wanted to say, just watch.
You didn't even see it bounce, did you? You can see we have it off. I just have to sand the bottom. Right now, we're just going to sand the bottom where it trimmed it off.
Look at that.
That is simply beautiful.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Excellent, Roger.
Hey, Roger, go back to your sled, if you would. That picture you just had up. And question I had earlier in the chat was, do you have a ramp or something on the right side of that blade so your pieces fall away from the blade? Or
Yes.
okay. And what angle is that, if you would elaborate?
I don't know. It's at an angle. It's just tape. That piece of wood is just taped there.
Okay.
Hey, Roger, that was a very enjoyable evening. I'll tell you.
Very good.
Very
Thank you.
enjoyable. I'll tell you. Look at that. Now, how tall did that become? How tall is it?
So pull the
How tall is
original.
it?
So pull
12
the
and a-
piece back.
It's like 12 and a half inches tall.
Is that what we saw? You know what?
Yes.
You know what? That was just excellent.
Yeah.
You put that together just great.
Oh.
So, folks, there were a few people within the chat that had questions. There were several people that answered it based on their knowledge. But if you would like to get Roger's answer, now is the time for you to ask those questions.
Can you post your plans on the website
The plans for
for the vase you just made? Mm-hmm.
I suppose it's all right here.
Yeah.
Draw
that would
the
be great.
picture.
I
Add
always
a
wanted
quarter
to try
inch
open.
inside and outside. You make this diagram measuring off that picture, and all your measurements, you can take it right off of this.
Okay.
So
How do you make your diagrams, Roger?
I use sketching and French curves.
What about the diagram you had for the open segmenting? It was a block pattern. Is that something you made with Excel or something?
Well, this was a pattern that was given to us at our club or at our class. And I've got a bunch of them printed out. When I go to level up, everybody can have one that's there. So, and the way I do it is I draw it out for the size that I need.
Right.
And if I need more than what these rings are, I just tape more pieces of paper together.
Yeah. It's a great idea.
Do you send one to the editor and let him put it in the thing?
Oh. And my there's my
Oh, okay.
steady rest.
Interesting.
It'll fit my Jet Mini, which is a 10-inch lathe. It fits my Nova, which is a 16-inch lathe, and I've had it on a 20-inch lathe at class. So this,
Very
like I say,
versatile.
this was just built in class. So
And you just made that out of straight T-bar material.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That is slick. Then your little arm that you use for the jig that put your pieces against.
that's
Make
just
sure
a
that
square.
right.
Everything else is the flat like this. But they had it all at class. We just cut off what we needed and we measured how much we used. They had all the brackets like these there. And I had the wheels. So
Goodwill has them too, and they're called rollerblades. Goodwill has the wheels also. They're called rollerblades.
Yep.
They're about $5 a pair for the complete rollerblade.
I got 16 wheels with the bearings and everything in it for like $4 at a garage sale once. And they were in a plastic tote.
I got 2 boxes full of used wheels, so I hear you.
That's what I was talking about right there.
Yeah, here's the open segmented jig.
That's using T-bar slot material also. Yeah.
Yep.
What's the purpose of the clamp on the top one?
Sure.
Yeah.
You measure, this is the center of the vessel. This is how far out you put the piece. You can measure, you can change this for however size you measure from here to there. Like if it's a 3-inch bowl, you'd set this at 1.5. If it was a 6-inch bowl, you'd set it at 3-inch. So, and you bring your piece up against it.
That's nice and simple. I like that.
Right? Yeah, it's IOCO. Intuitively obvious to the casual observer.
Yeah.
And this was this is 16 segment, but there's 32 cuts. So every other row, there's a short line and a long line. The short line's one row, the long line's the next. So I've got numerous discs, but they're all set up. This is set up for a 1-inch. So when I I had to put an adapter on it when I was doing this. And with the adapter, I really need to make this post taller. So.
Wow.
How did you, the piece that fits into the slots, what exactly is that? When you turn the wheel?
What's that?
When you turn the wheel, the little piece that fits into them little slots?
Yeah.
What exactly is that? No, I mean the piece, okay, they got slots in that piece.
What's the
slot?
stop?
What's locking your
Yeah,
locking
that
into
piece.
the
Slot here?
slots?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's solid. Going all the way through.
Turn that
and
over
secure it
and
on
then
the
you
top.
lock it in.
Raise it up.
Hold it up.
Hold it up a little higher. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just piece an angle and then
Pretty slick.
And the bolt, center bolt, I bought that one when I was in class, but I made my own. $3 or whatever for the bolt and a piece of 1/2-inch steel. So I'm going to make another one of these taller. And that way I can have 2 when I go to level up.
Nice. Nice. So Roger's going to be teaching how to do this at level up. So he's going to be doing a 2-part class. The first part of the class is off lathe, where he's going to show to lay out, how to lay out your segments and your design and how to make your bowl design. You'll be making that bowl. And then from there, after you've got the design elements and you got the segments, and then from there, the next part of the class is you're going to get to go to the pod level and you get to throw it on the lathe and actually make one. So this is going to be pretty great coaching opportunity for those that want to sign up for it.
that class is going to fill up quick.
Yeah, no,
I hear
I'll
you.
tell you what. Hey, Roger, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Actually, how long did it take to make that?
Thing is, I only worked a couple hours a day.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
So I probably got 6 to 8 hours in it. And that's cutting the lumber, gluing things together.
Right. That's my question. Right. Uh-huh.
A lot of it depends how quick you want to work. I don't like to work fast.
A lot of people who don't do segmenting don't understand how quickly you can really go.
Right. That's what I was going to talk about.
I've had
That's
people
one
say,
reason
I
want
don't
to do
do
segmenting. I mean, why I want to do the demo.
Yeah. I've had people say, well, the reason I don't do segmenting is the hours and hours and hours of sanding all the segments. So for them, I took a ring of segments and I sanded them up and timed it with a timer on the screen and everything, and it was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a chance to sit in your shop, listen to some music, and get some stuff going.
Right.
And you don't have to turn real deep.
No.
You're only doing one ring at a time.
Yep.
And you blend the next ring, each ring together as you're building.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time.
At all moments, you feel you're in more control. You just feel like you're in more control.
Well, I
can
think
see
you
it.
are. I think you are.
Of course. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
I like the way you were rotating between the top and the base to allow your glue ups and that timing there. That made a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But it was, I'll tell you what.
When I was doing it in
was pretty
class,
cool.
we only used
Roger, it was pretty cool.
Live Center into the end of the tailstock, and it wasn't secure. So first I got a 1-inch threaded piece that went into the tailstock that had a Live Center. And then I got an adapter to take it to 1 1/4. So now I've got both that I can secure both ends.
Very good idea.
Well, folks, anybody else have any questions for Roger?
Fantastic demo. Thank you.
If not, Roger, I appreciate it. The whole group appreciates it. The 30 people that are still on tonight, they appreciate it because they're still here. Just a fantastic job.
Great.
Can't wait to see the next demo in September.
I'll tell you what, it was pretty inspiring.
Yep. Great demo and a great
is.
piece.
It was
Yep.
pretty
Right.
inspiring.
That it is. All right. So with that, we have one final gallery. We are going to close out with Mr. Howard King. Oh God, he got off already. Gary, you got to talk to him, I swear. So with that, we will make this the demarcation point between the main meeting, and I will keep the meeting open for the after hours.